So, Deliver Us from Evil. This is I believe it's either a 2013, 2014 movie. It was actually theatrically released, and this stars Eric Bana, and it's actually a possession type movie. And this actually apparently is based on true events, and I believe they're somewhat embellished to give it some dramatic flair. So, Pauline here will tell us a little bit about the plot.
So the plot basically is main character is a cop or a detective living in Brooklyn. The beginning of the film starts out where you're kind of involved in this war or like this fight scene with some soldiers, and for the first few minutes I did kind of wonder, is this the right movie or not? These soldiers end up discovering this cave which has some ancient writing on the cave, and then it cuts from there and goes back to Brooklyn. And what you tend to find as the story goes on, there's some strange happenings going on in Brooklyn, some like child deaths, and as they start to investigate further, it turns out that there is some kind of possession going on, and the person who's possessed is essentially recruiting people to this kind of like possession army type thing.
It's the main character, say, is played by Eric Bana, and he plays kind of the main cop, and he ends up teaming up with a priest played by Edgar Ramirez, and essentially them trying to discover what's happened. Obviously Eric Bana's character is sort of skeptical initially, but obviously strange things kind of build up. We've also got Joel Howe from, I think it's his name, from Community, and he plays basically Eric Bana's partner, and it's kind of odd to see him in a kind of somewhat dramatic, although he still kind of plays the comic relief somewhat. And you've also got Olivia Munn as his wife, so it's kind of a standard sort of affair, to be honest. And one of the sort of the two things I would say that kind of stand out for me in this movie are, this is really relies on jump scares. I don't think it does a massively good job in kind of building up a lot of atmosphere. There are a couple of sequences where it does, it's fairly sort of spooky and stuff, but it's kind of quite telegraphed. There's quite a good scene involving this kind of plushy toy, which I kind of quite liked. That was quite good. But there's a lot of occasions where this film relies far too heavily on kind of jump scares, and a lot of them are these kind of like real typical ones, like a cat in a closet and stuff like that you've seen so many times before. And I don't mind the odd jump scare, but when it kind of just does it again and again and again, it kind of gets a little bit tiresome. The other thing was, if you're a fan of the Doors, this might be a bit of a weird film, because it really kind of says to you that the Doors are Satanists or something. I didn't really understand the relevance, to be honest. It seems to suggest that the Doors music is somewhat satanic. I don't really understand the relevance of that, to be quite honest. I mean, I'm guessing it's to do with some of the lyrics and stuff, but nevertheless, it was kind of a bit of a strange choice for me anyway, considering it's meant to be this kind of this ancient evil, and yet we're sort of saying the Doors songs are well,
it's just annoying because the Doors song they kept playing makes me think about the Lost Boys all the time.
It's not just one, there's a few Doors songs as well. It's just kind of, it really sort of happens. I mean, maybe once you can kind of think, kind of just goes with it, but just so happens that it's because it overdoes it a little bit. And also, I guess the priest played by Edgar Ramirez, God, I've got his name wrong again. Anyway, he kind of looks a little bit like Jim Morrison, I thought, in this. He's kind of like the way they kind of done his hair and all that. He kind of has this sort of Jim Morrison vibe. One thing I did like, I kind of, because in all of these films, the police are normally involved. We normally see a scene where someone's getting possessed and stuff, and they end up calling the police, and they turn up and of course don't believe them first of all, and so it's kind of interesting to see it from the police perspective, and having a member of the police as the kind of the main character, because in a lot of these films that's what tends to happen, and it's kind of nice to see a film purely based on the police side and kind of going through the kind of the procedural side of it as well. So that bit I kind of liked. Anything else you want to sort of say about this movie?
I again, there was bits of it that I really liked, bits that I didn't like. There was a few jump scares. I know I jumped a couple of times, as did you.
Yes.
What else did I like about this film? I'm trying to think. I did quite like the, you know, when you're thinking about it. No, I quite liked the priest. I thought he was quite good because he wasn't conventional. You know, he smokes and he drinks.
He's eyeing up the girls.
Yeah. So, you know, he's not conventional, and I quite liked that. I liked the fact that it was quite different. I did kind of like some of the atmosphere that it created, you know, when it was quite dark and they were only using their flashlights and stuff. I quite liked that. I was a little bit disappointed with the end.
The climax, the kind of
yeah. I just felt like they built up, and then and that kind of frustrated me. But all in all, I thought it was not too bad.
What'd you give it out of 10 then?
Probably a 6.
6, okay. I was actually going to give it a 5.5. It was okay, but I think it's pretty much forgettable, in all honesty. Yeah. Have you seen it? What did you think of it? Leave me a comment, and we'll look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.